This is CBC Here and Now.
Hand washing, hand sanitizer, healthy distancing, and masks. An inside look at what school's going to look like when it reopens tomorrow.
It's always a great first day, but now after having been out for so long, this is especially a wonderful event, and it'll be done safely.
There will be an election, so we have to be ready for that.
Getting ready for an election during a pandemic, coming up on Here and Now.
Good evening and welcome to Here and Now. I'm Carolyn Stokes.
And I'm Peter Cowan. A big day coming tomorrow for thousands of students and their families as schools reopen for the first time since March. That's our top story tonight.
It's back to school for many K-12 students across the province tomorrow, but with a limited number of bus seats available, some students have been left in a lurch and could miss their first day of class. Here Now's Meg Roberts is live in Conception Bay South tonight. So Meg, what can you tell us about the busing situation?
I'm standing at Queen Elizabeth Regional High School in CBS. It's one of several schools across the province that will be bustling with kids come tomorrow morning. Thousands of students are going back to class, but there will also be several who don't, and they say that's because they're left with no other option.
So in order to get to Queen Elizabeth Regional High School, my son would have to walk just under 1 kilometer down this road. Turn left on Conception Bay Highway, walk approximately 2 kilometers, right onto Foxtrap Access Road and approximately 2 kilometers there as well.
It's the evening before school starts and Moika Labrie is running out of options. She was told her son would not be eligible for busing, but she doesn't have a vehicle and no one to pick him up. His only option, walking 5 kilometers to school along some very busy roads.
I almost feel like we're being discriminated against because we don't have a vehicle. It's never been a problem for us in the past. We've always lived in areas where my son has been able to avail of bus services. And now this last minute slap in the face that we received on Friday has left everyone, not only myself, in a panic.
Labrie says her son, who's in grade 11, is desperate to get back to school to maintain his good grades. In order to attend post-secondary education, he's relying on academic scholarships, and he'll do anything he can to get there.
He wants to walk through the woods alone every day in the morning and in the evenings.
Not surprisingly, that plan doesn't sit well with his mom. At a press conference today, the school district said there's not much that can be done.
It is heart-wrenching in some situations, the personal family dynamics that had to be worked through. It is a hardship. All I can do is apologize for it.
The school district is hoping to have a bus for all students by the end of September. But Labrie says with 5 months to work on a reopening plan, that's just not good enough.
If they can't accommodate all students, they shouldn't accommodate any.
Labrie wasn't the only parent I spoke to today about possibly having to keep her child at home due to circumstances beyond her control. I spoke to a mother who works 2 jobs. She says she's not able to pick her son up from school. His walk is about 7 kilometers. Now, with just a day out, it's unclear as to how many families are in this same situation. Reporting live in CBS, I'm Meg Roberts for Here and Now.
Well, this week, more than 60,000 K-12 students will return to school for a year that is guaranteed to be unlike any other. Tonight, we're taking you inside One Paradise School to see how it adapted to cope with the COVID crisis. Here Now's Heather Gillis has more from Elizabeth Park Elementary.
We're ready to open safely.
Tony Stack, head of the English School District, is reassuring parents that school is safe even amid a pandemic. Tomorrow, many students return for the first time in nearly 6 months. Stack says they're trying to make school as normal as possible. But changes start at home with screening for COVID-19.
So if every parent and every family does that checklist, that'll put us in good stead.
Here at Elizabeth Park Elementary in Paradise, signs show grade levels are being given separate and staggered entrances. Inside, hand sanitizer, spaced out desks, and stickers mark the floor reminding students to practice healthy distancing. Access to lockers will also be staggered, and lunch will be eaten at classroom desks. Even though things in this school look relatively normal, the principal says they'll put an added emphasis on hand washing.
But young children will be shown how they line up to wash their hands, when they wash their hands, and certainly for the beginning, the teacher will be reinforcing this and reminding them, and it will be part of the day.
For kids who exhibit COVID-19 symptoms, there's a health room with extra PPE. And if there's a positive case,
we really have to defer to the medical authorities. They will talk about what happens. It could be class by class decisions being made. It could be a wing of a building, could be a whole building.
Though the school district says it's ready, problems with busing persist. Stack says he found out mid-August busing capacity would be cut by a third. Now, on the eve of back to school, he says 5,000 students won't be able to board a bus.
On the 14th, we'll be down to under 4,000. And then a week later, we'll be down to probably only 700 requiring. Now, 700 is still a huge number. By the end of September, we hope to have everybody who is authorized eligible rider, to have a seat on a bus.
Meanwhile, educators say they're ready for students to flood the hallways in schools like this one. They maintain that school is going to be safe this year, though not without hiccups. Heather Gillis, CBC News, Paradise.
Unlike K-12 schools, Memorial University campuses are not reopening tomorrow. Lectures are mostly moving online. That leaves the school grounds fairly empty, when typically this time of year they'd be abuzz with orientation. While it looks pretty desolate now, MUN President Vian Timmins says don't be fooled. The university still has about 18,500 students, and that's actually hundreds more than last year.
Our enrollment is up this term. We're up over 500 students. So students are still continuing to look at post-secondary education as an option. Well, I'm very pleased by that. It means that students recognize that even in a pandemic, they can access post-secondary education. So we're all pleased with the increase in our student population.
We'll have more from that interview with MUN President Vian Timmins in about 30 minutes, including why the coronavirus is costing the university millions. Well, Premier Andrew Furey is back on the campaign trail and answering questions about travel expenses. He's trying to win the seat that belonged to former Premier Dwight Ball, who has stepped down as the MHA for Humber-Gross-Mourne over the weekend. The move to take Ball's place did not come as a surprise to anyone closely watching Furey. He's been to the district 3 times since becoming Liberal leader over a month ago. All that travel has raised questions about who's paying for it. Furey says his trips aren't taxpayer funded. He says he paid for one personally, another was a family vacation, and that the Liberal Party is covering the most recent trip. The by-election will take place on October 6th. And Elections NL has been busy preparing for the possibility of a much larger election. CBC News has obtained documents that show the organization is gearing up for everyone in Newfoundland and Labrador to vote in a general provincial election. Here now's Mark Quinn has more on that story.
With former Premier Dwight Ball leaving politics, a by-election in Humber-Gross-Mourne district has been scheduled for this fall. And Premier Andrew Furey, who's recently been spending a lot of time with the current MHA for that district, has made his intentions clear. He hopes to win Ball's seat. With no online voting option, people will have to cast a ballot in person or by mail.
There is no online voting in Canada, so at the provincial or federal level. What we'll have is more, I expect more of an uptick or more use of the special ballot provisions, which are our mail-in ballot provisions.
But Elections NL must be ready for every possibility, including the possibility of a general election to fill every seat here at the House of Assembly. And CBC News has obtained documents that show that Elections NL has been preparing for a general election for months. This one shows Elections NL has ordered more than 450,000 3-ply masks. It's also bought tens of thousands of floor stickers, arrows and circles saying, "Stand here." And items like these ballot boxes are being stored at Elections NL warehouses like this one in St. John's.
Well, there will be a provincial general election, unless they change the legislation. There will be a provincial general election called between now and August 19th of 2021. So there will be an election, so we have to be ready for that.
The by-election in Humber-Gross-Morin District has been scheduled for October 6th, but eligible voters can go online now and apply for a special ballot. Chalk says kits including ballots will be mailed out in mid-September after nominations for candidates close. Mark Quinn, CBC News, St. John's.
Well, as swimming pools across the province have started reopening, the Ac Arena in St. John's is keeping its doors and swim lanes closed. It's not clear why exactly. The Works website simply says health and safety is their top priority and that it's following the province's guidelines on gatherings. But for Olympic hopefuls, this is a major setback.
What does the Works being closed mean for his athletic career?
Currently, Jackson is working towards several goals. He's working towards Olympic trials in his 100 free. He's working towards Canadian Junior Nationals, which he already has a time standard for. This year, we are hoping that he will get to go in July. Olympic trials are in July. But in order to qualify for those meets, he needs to swim in a regulated Swim Canada 50-meter pool. And right behind us is the only pool in this province that we have that is regulation size. Right now, the Legends have 6 Olympic trial qualifiers that will have no place to train.
I was really looking forward to this year. I was really pumped about it. I've been training for trials for a year and a half. Just been working my butt off 9 days a week, waking up before school, going to school, coming back to this pool after school, just all for this. And for that to just be taken away and being told I just can't anymore unless I move and leave everything, the whole province. It's upsetting.
Right now, probably the option would be Dalhousie, their pool. But like I said, everybody who's looking to qualify for national meets in Canada are looking for a 50-meter pool. And to give that space up to another province, I cannot see it happening. We have been leaving this province for several years for Jackson to swim, for all of these kids to swim. But that's to race other kids in the country. But to leave solely because we no longer have a 50-meter pool is absolutely devastating.
Every year, Swim Canada does the trials just with the top athletes in the nation that'll just race there. So that's where I actually qualified for the Olympic trials. It was really stressful because we don't have a 50-meter pool in the province. This is the only one. So without this, it puts a big impact on our training. And we also have nowhere to race then for the long course season, which is how everyone else in the province, or not the province, sorry, the country will race throughout the year. So without this pool being open, we have no other option. We have to leave the province to race long course.
I qualified for Olympic trials 7 months ago, give or take, and I'm trying to get U Sports this year. That's the big goal. U Sports is university championships. If you don't have a long course pool, Olympic trials are pretty much off the table unless you're exceptional.
There are people who've been working for Canada Games. There's an age limit for Canada Games, and this year is when it happens. I know people that have been training for 4 years for Canada Games, and if this doesn't happen, if there's no pool to train, no long course pool, and they can't happen, they'll completely miss it, because by next year they'll be too old and it'll just be completely gone. 4 years of their training and their life, their main goal going to Canada Games, it'll just be gone.
It's not just competitive swimming that's losing, right? People have to learn how to swim here. It's not just racing, it's so much more. It's cheap to go here, they get a workout. I know people in the morning swims, this is the only time it fits into their schedule. It's way more than competitive swimming.
What I am hoping for ultimately, and what I have, and several other, pretty much the whole aquatics community, the swimming community, is that the government finally realizes that in order for our swimmers to qualify for national level meets and to excel in their sport and to go further, even when it comes to universities and scholarships to the US, which you're probably going to hear from several swimmers that are looking for that, we need a regulated pool in this province, and that cannot go unstated, and it cannot be ignored anymore. We've been asking for this for years. I really do hope that we can find some means to make this work financially or otherwise.
Here Now has recently reported on some immigrant families who've chosen to leave the province and relocate to bigger Canadian cities. But this next story is a little bit different. It's about someone who's celebrating the joys and simple pleasures of life in Atlantic Canada. Last fall, Kezia Sebastian and her family left India, relocating to a very small, very foreign city, St. John's. She's so in love with the place that she's sharing the journey on her YouTube channel, enticing people from all over the globe to consider making this province their home. Here Now's Zach Gowdy put this together.
Hi all! Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. It's me Kezia again. So today we are going to show you another part of St. John's so that you can see and watch how St. John's looks in this summer season. Coming to beach, this will not be an exact kind of beach you may be expecting, but it is a safe place for kids like my baby. So I'm Kezia Sebastian. I come from Asian country which is India. I started this YouTube channel for information passing.
Hi everyone, it's me Kezia. I welcome you all to the very first video of my Newfoundland journey.
This is all about Newfoundland and immigrating to Canada, including the Atlantic provinces. So my main focus, like there are a lot of YouTube channels telling about Canada immigration, culture, climate and all. But there was not much information regarding the Atlantic Canada part. At the time I was deciding to move to St. John's, I didn't had any idea about the weather here. So my thought was it's always covered with snow in these Atlantic provinces, but it's not actually. My plan with this channel is to inform people who are trying to move to Canada with these pilot programs, including Atlantic Immigration Program, Provincial Nomination Program, those kind of programs. I'm doing this video in my native language, Malayalam, but don't worry, there will be English subtitles. You can follow this. St. John's in the traffic. My choice is like to have a life in a peaceful place. I don't really want to be in the rush place. I don't want to waste my time in the traffic every day. There are some factors people have to consider before they make a decision to move, because all people may not be happy to live in cold countries, right? So they need to consider about their health condition and their financial conditions. So in my perspective, I felt quality of life is very good here in terms of pollution, in terms of less traffic. We don't have to expect more, we don't have to expect big, but we need to expect a peaceful life. It's a really rare scenario that someone just crossing you without smiling at you. Else they will be asking you how's it going, even if you don't know the person. Most of the messages or comments in the comment box are like positive. People have applied to the jobs and they're getting some response from the Canadian employers. Knowing that, I'm so happy, I'm super excited. Actually, when in every day, I used to pray to God, like, God, I'm giving some hope to these people. So if they are giving their effort, please do help them, like as you did for me. So thank you for watching and see you till next time. Bye.
Some people come to me and they just assume that I'm busier than ever, but the reality is just the opposite.
Bankruptcies are down in this province, way down. Find out why from this bankruptcy trustee. On time for a look at the weather forecast. I'm filling in for Ashley this week. Big day tomorrow. I'll get to your back to school forecast in just a moment. But first, let's have a look at the highs today. It was a beautiful day in St. John's, 20 degrees with lots of sunshine. Really nice across the entire island today, actually. In Labrador, looking at some cool temperatures in the west. It's going to stay that way as we head into tomorrow. But for the island, different story. It is going to be hot and it is going to be humid as students head into class tomorrow on the island. In Labrador, as I mentioned, temperatures a little bit cooler in the mid-teens with some cloud cover. And for the rest of the week, we're looking at those mild temperatures continuing right through into the weekend. So let's have a look at tonight. We have some drizzle pushing through across the island overnight this evening, as well as western Labrador, but going to be clearing off tomorrow. So an overnight low tonight in St. John's, 16 degrees. So it's going to be pretty mild, pretty warm overnight. 15 in Gander and Grand Falls, Windsor with some cloud cover. 2 to 4 millimeters of rain expected along the south coast tonight. For Labrador this evening along the coast, 8 degrees in Nain with some showers there and some pretty heavy cloud cover for Happy Valley, Goose Bay, and 11 as the overnight low there. So let's have a look at your back to school forecast. So this is how things will look tomorrow morning around 7:30 in the morning. So if you're in the St. John's area, you're heading out the door, 19 degrees to start the day. It's going to be, you're going to have some cloud cover there, but it's going to be very warm as you head out the door, as well as for the Burin South Coast, 16 degrees, a little bit cooler there, 18 for central Newfoundland with a mix of sun and cloud, and nice temperatures as well for western Newfoundland. Into Labrador, temperatures in the lower end of the teens there, and 6 degrees to start the day in western Labrador. So if you're on the island, you'll want to dress pretty lightly tomorrow as you're heading into class. You can see not much by way of precipitation, mostly sunny skies, some cloud cover moving in later on in the afternoon, and some late day showers as well for Labrador West. So look at the humidex, 32. In St. John's tomorrow, it's going to be 26, but it's going to feel like 32 degrees. So dress appropriately for sure. Cooler along the coast, but as you move inland, those temperatures will be very hot as well. 25 in Marystown tomorrow with a mix of sun and cloud. Bonavista, Clarenville looking at the mid-20s there. Humidex in central areas in the Gander, Terra Nova area, 30 for the humidex around there, and a mix of sun and cloud. Harbour Breton a little bit cooler there along the coast, 18 degrees as the high. In the west, it is going to be not quite as hot, 23 degrees in Corner Brook, mostly cloudy skies throughout the day, but the humidex going to feel like about 25 degrees there. As we head up along the coast, lots of sunshine for the St. Anthony area, 18 as the high there. And as we head into Labrador, Cartwright, cloudy skies mostly tomorrow with 15 as the high. Lots of cloud cover as well for Happy Valley, Goose Bay, and Makovic. Temperatures much cooler there, 12 degrees. Nain could see some late afternoon showers as well. Labrador City looking at a high of 11 degrees tomorrow with those afternoon showers. So as we head into Thursday, you can see it's a very different story. Lots of cloud cover on the island and in Labrador, looking at some showers in the afternoon, some heavier rain pushing through as well. St. John's looking at a high of 16 degrees with those afternoon showers and rain across the board for the rest of the island. Temperatures still pretty mild though. Nain looking at 10 degrees as the high on Thursday with a mix of sun and cloud, and Lab City going to continue with that gray, rainy weather. As we head into Friday, the rain will continue for the island and for Labrador. Temperatures there, 19 degrees for St. John's, Marystown. So in the upper teens still, but it's going to be pretty wet. A cool down in Corner Brook, 14 degrees there. And for Labrador, Lab City continuing with that rainy weather. So as we head into the weekend, some clearing on Saturday, a high of 13 degrees. So it's looking like a bit of a chilly Saturday, but we still have quite a few days to get through yet. And Sunday looking at 18 degrees for the east. For central areas, 17 on Saturday with a mix of sun and cloud, and some heavier cloud cover on Sunday. For western Newfoundland, a nice Saturday shaping up, 17 degrees with some showers moving in on Sunday. As we head into Labrador in the east, Looking at a nice Saturday there as well with some showers on Sunday. And in the west, similar story there, 15 degrees as the high on Saturday, 11 on Sunday with some showers. So this is our weather photo of the day from an area we don't usually get photos from, so I'm very happy to see this. This is just outside of St. Anthony on the tip of the northern peninsula. Just look at how beautiful this is. A great shot of a double rainbow. This was sent to us by Jack Rowe. A colorful view of Pistolet Bay. That's at his cabin. So thank you very much, Jack, for sending that in. If you have a photo you'd like to see on the show, just send it to nlphotos@cbc.ca.
Coronavirus has taken a bite out of the economy here in Newfoundland and Labrador. Many people are out of work, but if you think that might lead to more bankruptcies, you'd be wrong. The latest statistics show the number of people filing bankruptcy is actually way down. Sean Stack is a licensed insolvency trustee, and he's here to explain it. So, first of all, give me an idea. How much of a decrease have we seen with the number of bankruptcies in Newfoundland and Labrador?
In Newfoundland and Labrador, it's been quite dramatic, actually. January, February, and first half of March were busier than ever. But since the coronavirus and COVID-19 hit, the numbers in Newfoundland have been down 55 to 60+% each month compared to last year.
So that seems a bit counterintuitive. You would have thought with so many people out of work, you'd have more people. So what's going on here?
It does seem counterintuitive, and it's funny. Some people come to me and they just assume that I'm busier than ever, but the reality is just the opposite. And I think a lot of it is that so many things have been deferred. So people have had their mortgages deferred, their interest payments are deferred, student loans have been deferred. For a long time, people weren't working or they were working from home, so they didn't have to pay the childcare costs like they might have otherwise had to pay. So there's been a lack of urgency around the financial side of things for a little while.
So does this mean people are actually better off financially right now, or are they just delaying what may be the inevitable?
I think it remains to be seen, because there's a possibility that all the numbers of insolvencies that we've seen over the past couple of years, maybe it was time for a decrease in numbers naturally anyway. Maybe we'd hit that peak of the summit. Or maybe some people are deferring an inevitable insolvency filing, because the purpose of all of these deferrals of mortgages and things was to give people relief to get back to work and get back to their income so they could go back to living normally. But there's a certain number of people who are going to go through illness or divorce or different things that drive the insolvencies anyway. So we may just be seeing a backlog of those as people come out from these financial hibernations almost.
It's not just people who have lost their jobs directly because of COVID-19 who are getting some of these deferrals on mortgages and other loan payments. It's everyone. So what have you seen in terms of how aggressive banks and other people have been in terms of making those collections?
Collection activity has been greatly reduced from a lot of financial institutions. Yeah.
What are you going to be looking for over the next 6 or 8 months?
I think it'll be watching the change as CERB unwinds and people go back to EI. Do the jobs come back that had been put on hold? As the wage subsidy eases, do people get to maintain those jobs, or do jobs get reduced as a result of that? I think there's a lot of unknowns at this point.
Well, thank you very much for sharing your thoughts.
Thank you for having me.
Many changes in place as students head back to class tomorrow. There's a new plan for parents of kindergarten students, as well as new guidelines for safe distancing, scheduled drop-offs, and lunch breaks. The English School District invited reporters inside Elizabeth Park Elementary in Paradise today to see some of the changes. Here Now's Heather Gillis was there.
Tonight when I go to bed, I'll have those butterflies, but it's a good excitement. And I think if you ask any student, certainly across our province, what are they looking forward to? It's seeing their friends and their teachers. And that's what we're looking forward to, seeing them as well. So it's a lot of excitement, a lot of preparation, but we're ready to go and looking forward to it.
Ms. Churchill, what will it look like for students in kindergarten tomorrow morning?
Tomorrow, in able to accommodate parents to get that special moment, we have our kindergartens tomorrow attending for 90-minute sessions, and they've been divided. So each child can have one parent or guardian accompany them, bring them in, see their classroom, see them off, and get that little picture, that very special moment. So we're thrilled to be able to do that. Of course, on the advice of the Chief Medical Officer, that's permissible. So we're happy to be able to do it and provide that opportunity. Children need to know what's expected. They need to feel safe. So we've actually put in some extra, of course, things in our school to help with the current situation with the pandemic. We have directional arrows. And again, something that's not real new to kids, but in how they proceed through the hall. We have actual spacing on the floor for when they're in lines so that they can keep a safe distance. And we're certainly going to be talking about to children healthy distances. We're not going to be using meters and those sorts of things because they're little children. We're going to talk about healthy distance with your friends. You can play and enjoy being with your friends by maintaining that healthy distance and hand washing. So we're going to be reinforcing those things. Upon entry to the school, they will have an assigned entrance. So there will be a staggered entry so that all students aren't coming through the same door. If you notice, they've been assigned by grade. They'll be using their hand sanitizer at that point, at which time they'll go directly to their classroom. And we're really pleased at that point. Then they become their own bubble. Their teacher and their particular class will stay together as much as possible and be able to enjoy what we'd call a regular day with those extra precautions and those extra little reminders into place.
Ms. Churchill, what will lunchtime look like?
All children will be eating in their classrooms. Children remain seated for their eating time. And we've encouraged all children to have a placemat and an area that's their eating area only. So they will remain seated for lunch. They will not be going to the cafeteria. And after they've finished their meal, then they will have time to get out of their seats and do normal lunchtime break type things.
So, I mean, people talk about the stigma associated with this. Anybody who tests positive, inadvertently it can become ostracizing.
We would obviously take the precautions that are directed from the school district to send that child to the health room where they're in a comfortable environment until their parent or whatever can come to pick them up. But again, no one will be made feel anyway intimidated. We'll certainly talk to that child. The teacher would contact the office, contact myself or the assistant principal if she notices a child's presenting as sick. And I would certainly, it would be done very discreetly and very empathetically. No student would be uncomfortable.
Well, public health officials are keeping a watchful eye as students across the country head back to class.
This week, I think, is a really critical week, and for sure next week, because then you would have had some idea of what happens when you go back to school. So the next couple of weeks is 2 weeks of careful vigilance.
Quebec announced today that up to 120 schools may have been affected by COVID-19 since classes began last week. In Ottawa, a handful of new cases have been linked to schools. About 200 students and staff at 5 French language schools were told to stay at home due to potential exposure. In some regions across the country, the new school year is being staggered as a precaution.
While many K-12 students are back in the classroom tomorrow, most MUN students are not. The university's campuses are, for the most part, closed. Nearly all of the school's 18,500 students will be learning online this semester. MUN President Vian Timmins spoke with On-the-Go host Ted Blades. She says it's strange seeing the school grounds so empty.
It feels surreal. It's very unusual. I've spent a lot of years in university life, and it's kind of sad, but I've been doing virtual orientations, which gives me at least that connection to students.
What worries do you have? What worries should I have if I'm a student here that I'm getting my money's worth for the tuition with what is now not the same kind of university experience?
Well, it's a different university experience, but you're still, as a student, getting access to quality teaching, to professors, to great pedagogy. So for students, I think they need not worry. They need to pay their tuition. What we have done, though, is we've reduced fees like that we had on campus for recreation fees and things that you would pay separately for being here. So students do have a less expensive term, even working online.
What does this mean for the, I guess, roughly 3,500 foreign students who were here when everything fell apart in March, and I assume some of them are still here now? What does this all mean for them?
For many of our international students, it's a challenge if they haven't come here to access internet and be able to do it. Some have to, because of time change, log on to their classes after midnight, for example. But we do have quite a few students here. Our enrollment is up this term. We're up over 500 students. So students are still continuing to look at post-secondary education as an option.
Enrollment is up?
Up 500 students, yes.
And how surprised are you by that?
Well, I'm very pleased by that. It means that students recognize that even in a pandemic, they can access post-secondary education. So we are all pleased with the increase in our student population.
How worried are you that foreign students might decide not to come here but to go somewhere else if they don't have to leave their house?
Well, we're not seeing that. We're seeing our international students come here. We will see a reduction in the numbers for sure in Canada, across the country, the numbers of international students. And that has an impact for the communities, for the businesses locally, for rentals. We want students to come here. We want immigration in this province. We need it. And so I think this is an issue for everyone to be worried about. We want to make sure that this pandemic doesn't impact in the long term the ability to attract international students.
What impact is this having on Memorial University's bottom line?
It has a big impact on our bottom line. Residents, we're losing significant money in residents. We're looking at about an $11 million loss overall during the pandemic right now.
From April till now?
No, for the whole year.
For up through to next April?
That's what we're estimating. And surprisingly, it's better than some universities. For example, some universities in Nova Scotia have 30–40% international students have had a big drop in enrollments, and they're getting a significant hit. There's not a university in this country that has not had a financial hit because of the pandemic.
I asked you earlier about the students and said, they're getting their money's worth out of it. What feedback are you getting from staff and faculty about this new world order and about how they feel about it?
I get mixed. Some faculty and staff like the option of working at home, as I think at any workplace. Others are anxious to come back to campus. The thing that I'm most worried about are equity issues. Single mothers with young children home, unable this summer to access daycare and trying to work. So that is a big issue. So we see that. So for many people, it has been really challenging, the transition to work from home. And I think that's in every industry and occupation.
You talked about people having challenges with internet access, especially in rural Newfoundland and Labrador. Tell me some of the things you're hearing there, please.
Well, I was in St. Anthony's, for example, and I met a father there who has 3 kids in university. They have to actually leave St. Anthony's and go to Corner Brook to access the internet. So even though we say you can work from home, for them, that's not possible. When I'm in Mary's Harbour up in the coastal Labrador, you can't even get cell phone access. So it's a real challenge here in Newfoundland and Labrador. And it's something that I hope that our federal and provincial governments now recognize and will start investing more in.
Across the country, many post-secondary students are back to class today, though, as you just heard, many won't step foot on a college or university campus. Tashwana Reed has more on how some students are adjusting to remote learning and connecting with classmates.
Casey Arubi is preparing for her first year of university as an industrial design student. Except she won't be stepping foot on campus.
It's still stressful because it's like university and I'm excited and nervous. It's a whole new experience, so I don't want to mess anything up.
Her first year will be at home, learning and creating from afar. One concern, how it will all translate online.
I'm just hoping that I still get the same amount of information that I would in class.
Being online means missing out on another post-secondary experience.
I definitely would have preferred to have gone to a lecture in person. You know, I would have liked to meet new people, make some friends. Hey, what's up, man?
Kyle Archer, a first-year film and TV student, is making do at home, connecting with his new classmates using Zoom and group chats.
We help each other out when we have questions.
For thousands of post-secondary students, online learning will be the default this semester. The University of British Columbia has adapted 3,000 of its courses for remote learning. Some in-person classes will be allowed if virtual isn't practical.
We understand this is a different experience for our students. We want this to be over as much as they do. We are doing the very best we can to provide the very best education we can for them.
Fourth-year UBC student Gabriela Sunario got a taste of university life during the pandemic last semester and found some things were easier.
I am more confident in asking questions, giving answers, because I won't get that awkwardness or self-consciousness of people looking at me.
Still, this wasn't what she pictured heading into her final year.
There is nothing quite like the excitement of going to class back in September, to see the hallways and to see the roads on campus being filled out by students.
As for Ruby, she's trying to keep things in perspective.
It's better to keep people safe than to always have your way.
And looks forward to the day she'll be able to attend a lecture on campus in person. Tashana Reed, CBC News, Toronto.
health authorities say they're on the lookout for a resurgence in COVID-19 cases across the country. They're worried that people let their guard down over the Labor Day weekend. But Dr. Theresa Tam says we can keep the virus out of schools if we adhere to public health measures.
Although Canada is striving to maintain a slow burn, the average daily case counts has been increasing in recent days. This is concerning. And I want to underscore that when cases occur, including in schools, it is a reflection on what's happening in the community. So the key to keeping COVID-19 at a manageable level is for each and every one of us to keep up effective public health practices at home, at work, and in the public spaces we frequent.
Well, Quebec is trying to contain an outbreak of COVID-19 at a private seniors' home in Saint-Jerome, about 45 kilometers from Montreal. The owners say at least 24 people in the home have tested positive for the virus, including 19 residents. The first case was reported 2 weeks ago in an employee. The residents were isolated 5 days later. 3 of the people who tested positive are in hospital. Well, thousands of newly trained patient attendants will start working in Quebec's long-term care centers this month. And for at least one of them, it's a true labor of love. The CBC's Matt Demore explains.
What I'm doing for others, it's simply, I can't find the words to describe it, really.
Paulo Real spent more than 20 years working in front of a computer. But when the pandemic hit long-term care centers, he wanted to help as a patient attendant. He even turned down another job offer with perks and a higher salary.
The pay that I get when I come out of the CHSLD is not related to financial gain. It's related to how it makes me feel when I walk out of there every day. And there's no comparison to any other job I've ever had in my life.
Riel is one of roughly 8,000 Quebecers who applied for training and stuck with it. After accelerated training, the new attendants are set to start working in long-term care this month. Some, like Riel, already have. The Federation of Health and Social Services says the reinforcements were sorely needed. President Jeff Begley hopes it means attendants will have more time to be there for seniors.
So if they have time to sit down and while they're doing their work, just exchange with the senior citizen, it's win-win-win for everybody.
At his long-term care center in L'Assomption, Riel is already trying to bring a personal touch.
Yesterday, I brought my guitar to the workplace. I disinfected the whole thing, string by string. And, people came out of their rooms. All that was missing was the campfire and the marshmallows because it was really great.
As Quebec braces for a second wave, Begley says 2,000 more people should be starting patient attendant training soon. Matt Demore, CBC News, Montreal.
Dozens of wildfires have burned a record-setting 800,000 hectares in California. Fires are also burning in Oregon and Washington state, sending smoke into southern British Columbia. That's fueling health concerns. The CBC's Briar Stewart has more.
Well, there's a gas station. They don't have any fuel left, though.
This is what Jake Thone had to drive through to escape the rapidly growing creek fire, which has burned nearly 600 square kilometers. Others trapped in California's Sierra National Forest had to be airlifted out by the state's National Guard. Conditions were so dangerous, the smoke so thick, that it hampered some of the rescue efforts, and officials believe there are more people still trapped in the backcountry.
They weren't able to land several attempts throughout the day.
The still out-of-control fire has destroyed dozens of buildings, and it's just one of several fires burning across the state. Officials warn that the ongoing wind and high temperatures could make things even worse. Further north in Washington state, more fires. 80% of the town of Malden burned, including the post office and Shannon Thornton's home.
Everything gone. Clothes, beds, everything.
Smoke from those fires has wafted into BC. It's settled over Metro Vancouver, but Victoria and the Okanagan are seeing the worst of it in this province. Air quality advisories are in place there, warning of a high health risk, and COVID-19 means the risk could be even greater.
Each is going to damage or compromise the airways,
and the immune system, and then it's like a second hit when the alternative exposure, whether it's wildfire smoke or COVID, comes along.
The smoke could linger for another couple of days as crews try to get all of the fires south of the border under control. Briar Stewart, CBC News, Vancouver.
This weather forecast is brought to you by Newfoundland and Labrador Tourism. Take the time to explore this fall. Learn more at stayhomeyear.ca.
Well, it's going to be a beautiful day for students as they head back to class tomorrow. Let's have a quick look at the temperatures for tomorrow. It's going to be very hot in the east. For St. John's, a high of 26 degrees, but with that humidex, going to feel like 32. Grand Falls, Windsor, Gander looking at 24 degrees, also with a humidex of around 30 degrees tomorrow. A little bit cooler in the west. Corner Brook looking at a high of 23 degrees with some heavier cloud cover there. For Labrador, a bit cooler in the west, 11 degrees for Lab City with some afternoon showers, as well as for Nain, some afternoon showers, 14 degrees as the high there. The rest of Labrador looking at some cloud cover and temperatures in the mid-teens. So a pretty nice day shaping up tomorrow as kids go back to class.
And that's about it for us tonight. But of course, back to class is the big news story tomorrow, with so many of the students across the province heading back to class.
Yes, and we're going to be covering it all tomorrow. We'll be following how parents and students are coping with all of the changes. We're going to bring you reports from Corner Brook to Gander to St. John. So we're going to be all over it tomorrow as all the students head back to class. So it's going to be a very big news day for sure.
Yeah, I know.
A lot of people.
Yeah, and tonight there's a lot of different emotions. Some people are a little bit anxious, some people are a little bit excited about it, so hopefully we'll be able to capture all of that in our coverage tomorrow night.
Great. Hope to see you then. Have a great night, everyone.
Good night.